look at it, make a decision and recommend it. Like fishing.
Regular council meeting Monday, August 3rd, 2026, 6 p.m. City clerk, will you please give the roll call?
Councilman Baker.
Present.
Councilwoman Frisell. Councilman Griffin.
Here.
Councilwoman Holtzhauser.
Here.
Councilman Phillips.
Yep.
Councilman Polston.
Here.
Councilwoman Sherman.
Here.
Councilwoman Sitton.
With there being a quorum, I will call this meeting to order. What everyone stand for the invocation. Councilman Holston, will give the invocation. Please remain standing for the pledge of allegiance. Councilman Phillips, please lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to assemble here again to do the business of the city of Louisiana. Lord, just guide us with your wisdom and understanding and knowledge as we make these important decisions on behalf of all of our fellow citizens here in Louisiana. We ask that in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'll open the floor for any comments from the public regarding any item on the agenda. Now, we're doing agenda items. I know what you're wanting to talk about is not on the agenda, so you're gonna have to be limited a little bit on time limits.
Okay,
That's fine. State your name and
my name is Anthony Grant,
I got you.
and I am the owner of Triple Art Studios in Louisiana, Missouri. I wanted to bring up the fact that we don't have a lot of things in our E-code with regards to a lot of the data centers and other things that are coming in, like the grid. So I wanted to propose that to everybody, the City of Louisiana's right-of-way data portal. The executive summary: the convergence of Ameren's Missouri large load power expansion in Lincoln County, including the transmission and generation developments near the Silex US 61 corridor, and the regional push for data center infrastructure creates a strategic opportunity for nearby municipalities. For an incorporated municipality like Louisiana, Missouri, located just up the 61 corridor in Pike County, benefiting financially from neighboring mega projects requires proactive policy shifts. 1. Context: Ameren, Missouri, Lincoln County, and data center demands. Ameren's Missouri Powering Missouri Growth Plan and recent filings with the Missouri Public Service Commission, PSC, highlight a massive push to expand transmission and generation infrastructure, including solar farms and high voltage substations across Lincoln and surrounding counties. Infrastructure drivers: Ameren is building a grid capacity to support large load electricity users, specifically hyperscale and enterprise data centers. SB4 alignment and rate structures. Under Missouri Senate Bill 4 frameworks, large load facilities are required to cover their own direct infrastructure, connection costs, and enter long-term demand commitments. This protects general rate payers while generating massive localized property tax assessments for host counties and special tax districts. Regional ripple effects. While the physical footprint of a data center or solar array may sit in Lincoln County or near Silex, the operational supply chain, construction, labor pool, host housing demands, and utility routing cross county lines into Pike County. Now, there's a lot of strategic policy through intergovernmental utility sales agreements. Because for one thing, I know that a lot of data centers have been, in 2 years, have doubled the amount of water that they consume. And I don't know specifics yet on this data center that's coming to Lincoln County, whether they use water or if it's a single cycle or a no water. But I'm having a feeling that it's probably going to be a water. Create targeted municipal tax incentives, Chapter 10 or Chapter 100 TIF, supply chain Chapter 100 revenue bonds. Enact clear guidelines for Chapter 100 industrial and development bonds to attract secondary technology vendors, equipment maintenance firms, and electrical supply distributors to set up shop within city limits. Sales tax capture, align local ordinances to ensure that construction materials, office equipment, and operational supplies purchased or staged within city limits capture local municipal sales tax. Inter-county and regional economic coalitions. Pike County Partnership. Establish formal economic development liaison agreements between the City of Louisiana, Pike County Economic Development, and Lincoln County authorities. Housing and community revitalization. Data center construction brings hundreds of temporary skilled trade workers, followed by high-paying permanent engineering technical jobs. Updating municipal housing codes, encouraging multiple family residential infill, and utilizing historical downtown tax incentives will capture the residential spending power of these workers in Louisiana's retail and hospitality sectors. Now, there's a lot of policy action checklists for city leaders, executive summary report for the Ameren grid infrastructure, crypto support, and cross-border tax strategies. I'm not going to talk too much about that, but I wanted to say that most data centers nowadays, they are crypto mining, and in order to do that, that generates a lot more electricity and heat and water waste. So I'm going to post this online for the public to see, and hopefully we'll be able to open this up to a wider discussion in the future.
You're wanting us to be prepared for something
Yes,
and have proactive, if something like this comes close to us, that we can capture some of that business from.
more than likely it will, because I don't know that they're going to be able to fight the data center or the electrical grid. So,
That's what,
yes, does anybody have a question?
I just wanted to say something. I've done a lot of research on AI and data centers. Okay. Given what I know, I'm really leery of the whole thing. Almost to the point where I'm willing to say right now that unless a lot of things change, I will never support the building of a data center in Pike County or in the Louisiana area.
I agree.
Because I think the negative benefits, first of all, I think AI is gonna crash.
It is, oh,
I follow the
speculative
markets, I
bubble,
follow
yes.
AI stocks, and right now we're in a bubble. They're raising and spending more money they can generate. AI is not being implemented in businesses the way that big tech wants you to believe, especially large businesses. So unless something drastically changes, I see it as an economic dead end. They're selling a bill of goods, and I don't think the taxpayers should have to subsidize Elon Musk. You want to build a data center, spend your own money.
well, I think I'm safe to say that it's probably never gonna happen in the city
Don't do it,
of
right?
Louisiana, because we don't have a room for one.
Well, no, the data center isn't coming here, I know that, that's not the thing, there's side businesses. and-
You're saying if something comes close enough to us, that we can still capitalize on some of that.
Well, no, I'm saying that there is a pipeline that is actually going to be going in somewhere in the area.
Right.
Through Pike County. So if they are going to be doing that, when they do, we need to capture some of the tax.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Anthony.
Would it be appropriate to establish a committee to research this a little bit further and to maybe look at some of the things he's talking about to
I would think that would come under,
future meetings?
I would think that would come under economic development. And it is some stuff that I am currently working on to try to put together some kind of overview as to what the impact of these data centers are. There are so many factors that enter into whether it's a partial thing like you're talking about with a pipeline, with tax capture, but everything that I read, and I'm tied into a lot of that from a research perspective. I think these small towns are being fed a bill of goods. And as a community, I think what we're gonna have, when this comes up, because it's gonna come up at some point. When this comes up, we're gonna have to have a real serious conversation about the benefits versus the shortcomings of tying into something like that. Yeah, there are obviously some very vigorous financial benefits, but like I said, right now, these AI companies, and I can say this because my dad was a drunk sailor, they're spending money like drunk sailors on this stuff. They're raising so much public and private debt that they can't even hardly service it. And at some point, this is all gonna come crashing down. I remember 2007, I remember the dot-com bubble, and it's the same sort of thing. These guys are so overextended, and they're making false promises to these communities.
Yes, they are.
And as long as I'm sitting here and I'm still drawing a breath, unless something drastically changes, there is no way in hell I would ever approve.
But we're not talking about it coming to Pike County, we're
No,
talking
it's still-
about being in Lincoln County. And us being, if it's someplace that we can't stop it, and if somebody else wants it, but we can somehow benefit from it.
Well,
we
I'm not
might
adverse to
At least
that.
look at that, and that's why I think.
We're getting off topic.
I'm not adverse to that, but as far as construction of the data center here,
Nobody wants that. Well, I don't think anybody does.
Okay, we'll move on.
yeah.
Let's get back to the agenda. Thank you, Anthony, appreciate it.
Thank you.
There are no corrections needed to be made. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second it.
We have a first and second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. The agenda will stand as is. Minutes, the chair will entertain a motion to approve June 2nd, 2026 special council meeting minutes and the June 22nd, 2026 regular council meeting minutes and June 29th, 2026 special council meeting minutes as a slate.
So moved.
We have a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Next on the mayor's report, you all have in front of you the Pyramid Heating and Cooling contract for the library. You have something to say, Pat? Anything? Or if there's any questions, Pat Dollar's here from the library.
Right, I'm here, on behalf of the library, I'm the president of the library board, and if you have any questions, this company has, they put, in the air conditioning and maintained it for several years, and, actually do even extra little things there for us. And we would like to, have them back to help us.
And this is basically a service agreement.
It's a service agreement, yes, to maintain and, the air conditioning systems.
I don't think, is there something that we need to vote on or?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, just to vote to approve that.
Okay. Any other discussion at all?
Does anyone have a question?
Didn't we talk about this before, that, because that $220 just sticks in my head?
It's 220 for each, well,
There's just,
there were two of them.
Right.
Have you had this before? This is an ongoing
Yes,
thing?
yes, they've worked with us before for many years, and we were unable to have it last year or the year before. Or the year before. So we need air conditioning maintenance done. We'd like to have them back again.
Well, they do a good job because it's always cold in the basement.
Well, that we work on, that, it's a basement, and that, bring your sweater when you come to our basement.
No, I like it cold.
I mean, my whole thought is 440 now or thousands later.
Yeah. And our director Holly's been really good to try to stay on top of all the work, things that have to be done. It's an old building, and so it helps to have someone for us, it seems like a small price to pay to keep things going. Because they've even changed light bulbs and done all kinds of extra things too. So, as he's supposed to, but he has done that for us, so.
Okay, if there's no other discussion, I'll entertain a motion to accept the contract.
Shouldn't we have competitive bids on this?
Not at that price. I don't-
The threshold for the pricing would be $5,000 for competitive bids, and it's $500 to $5,000 for comparative pricing. I believe it falls below both of those.
Yes. The total on the contract for both of them is $420.
That's actually not bad for the work they do.
So did we
They have
have,
a relationship.
Did we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the contracting for the air conditioning maintenance system.
I'll sign this care.
okay, we have a first and second. Any more discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. The chair will entertain a motion to confirm the appointment of Terry Carter and David Miller to the Historic Preservation Committee.
A motion or discussion
You don't have a motion.
or where are we at?
We need a first.
Just-
I made a motion.
Okay, we've got a first and second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Move on to the city administrator's report.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I have a couple of things to go over with you guys this evening. So we're gonna start off with our general update. We received our insurance proceeds from an accident that occurred in December of last year. It was $15,852.58. The approximate cost to fix that snowplow will be less than $1,000. And actually has already been fixed except for one of the headlights on the front. So we received the proceeds for that. A couple of things that are before you this evening for your consideration. The annual handbook, resolution 1726. I made an error when I presented to you 2-3 weeks ago. I provided you guys with a document that listed the changes within the handbook. There was one I left off. It was not intentional, but I'm gonna call my mistake out. We had moved to allow the city employees, our holidays to align with all federal holidays. I forgot to mention that. And so that's only an addition of Juneteenth and Columbus Day. So it does afford the employees 2 extra paid days off a year. I just forgot to mention that in there. That was not intentional, but that was the change. The next thing is our workers' comp audit is completed, thanks to the work of our city treasurer, Alyssa. There was a primary difference, an increase of $18,091, and for adjusted rates and various like small line item differences. We had achieved a savings of approximately $21,000 earlier in the year. And so it is something that still comes in a little bit under what we had anticipated it to be for 2026. It is still, however, an $18,000 hit. We will have to adjust it to mid-year budget. Next, Bill 7260 is just simply a contract that I cannot speak to the intricacies of in open session, but it's a contract regarding an ongoing case that we have for your consideration. The next 2 things we have, we are out for bids again on the roof of City Hall. And then we are also out for bids on the fire department roof to get it replaced. Next, after discussing, I think the last regular council meeting, we had discussed a city website. I discussed with John and with Mark, and John just happened to be in the office that day, and Clinton kind of outed me here. I have designed websites in the past, and he asked that I would take a crack at it. And so I've elected not to bring those bids before you guys. I will say, they were pretty rough. They ranged anywhere from, I would say the median price on them was probably around $70,000, barring the one that we received from Civic Plus. But if you can even save the city $5 or $6 grand, I'm currently taking a crack at it in my very abundant free time. So it took me a little bit of time to work on that, and I'm working with our IT guy to see what we can accomplish and if it's feasible for us to do something like that. And then next, I'm really happy to say this, the sidewalk next to the old funeral home, just down here, right across the street from Gambino's in the library. They should be out there this week, removing the top facade off of that building, and we'll be able to get that sidewalk pretty safe. And I'll have the maintenance department come out, clean that sidewalk, and it'll be open to the public once more. Thanks. Any questions on those things so far? Okay. Maintenance department update. 3 of our mowers have been down or are down within the past, I'd say, week and a half. We're working to fix those that are under warranty, and those under warranty have been sent in for servicing. We also did some equipment operation issues. Those have been addressed, and they will continue to be addressed as they come up. So if mowing does look a little spotty here and there, please forgive us. We're doing our best right now. Next is tree abatement. So there were 2 trees brought to my attention by a couple of different citizens that posed a severe threat, maybe not severe threat, I'm perhaps being a little too dramatic, that posed a potential liability issue for the city. They were at Henderson Riverview Park. One was on the corner of North Main and Noy Street, and the other was directly next to 210 Noy Street. The one on the corner just simply needed to be trimmed so that we could get it untangled from various wires, prevent it, from becoming heavy on one direction, perhaps falling over the road. And then the other one was leaning towards someone's house, is dead and has been dead for a great period of time. Those trees were both abated today. And so those were done for a cost of $5,000. I mentioned this specifically because it's the first person I've done of that caliber, of that amount. And it does fall directly at that line of what would require council approval. But those trees have been taken care of. And
What's the address of the one that was that mine? Third one?
no, these were both in the first ward. Yeah. So, and we did, once those trees were brought to my attention, I did, to the best of my limited ability, address other, like look at other trees and see, like, we're gonna have to, spend this type of money to take some trees down. Are these the two that pose the most threat? I thought so. I made that decision to have those taken out, and they were taken down this morning. Any questions on that?
So are these trees that are on, city property or are they on public? Or are they privately owned?
They're on public property. They're in Henderson Park.
Thank you.
Of course. Grant updates. During the month of July, we applied for one grant totaling $6,272.50. And we have one outstanding grant. We currently got awarded 0 grants. That one's still pending. And our grant approval rate is not applicable. That grant was for trees to go up and down Georgia Street and perhaps down south 79 here on 3rd Street. We're still working out the logistics of what that will look like, but that grant has been put in for us.
That's the grant for $6,272, is that your mark or something?
The money?
Yes.
So the grant is for the trees themselves. The $6,272 is the value of the trees. So should we get awarded this grant, we will just get trees.
How many?
This math here.
Or about, like,
80-ish.
will they be seedlings or?
They'll be about, and I think they're being delivered in 3-gallon buckets, but about 80 trees. And then we got,
These are trees that are gonna be free.
yes, yeah, they'll be free, yeah, they'll be
They're
free to us.
us trees.
Yes.
So this is the red bud.
Yes, so these are the red buds that are proposed to go down Georgia, 2 on each side of each city block. We will do tree wells so that they will not interfere with existing infrastructure, streets, sidewalks, water, anything like that. The details of which have to be worked out still, but that has been requested.
So would the cost primarily be for installation of the trees?
Yes, and that's something that I prepared them to get ready to do. Again, the schematics of it have to be worked out, but it'll just be man hours. So
That makes more sense, sorry.
that's okay. Building inspection update. The building inspector during the month of July performed 15 inspections, issued 9 permits. During the month of May. I've generated $1,316.36 in fees. Out of those 15 inspections, 12 passed and 3 failed. The license office was open 21 days and had generated $6,321 in fees across 553 transactions. Although it's not listed in the update, I will say we are still continuing a trend that I've seen throughout this year so far, where we're averaging slightly, I would say about 5 to 7% higher than average, or than average for last year. The library update, the library was open 22 days in April with 534 in-person patrons, 92 phone calls, 20 new library cards, 68 computer-only patrons, and 21 community events. Any questions for those departments? Okay.
Question.
Yes.
The tree down that's covering the 30-mile-an-hour zone coming in just about in front of Judge Judd.
Yes.
Okay, has that been trimmed?
I'm gonna take a look at it specifically to see where it's located at. We do maintain a right of way down the road, but it may be on private property. We may not be able to trim it.
It's sitting right in front of that house, so I didn't know if that was their responsibility or the city's.
I would have to take a look at it specifically, but from the sounds of it, I think it's on private property.
But we can have them trim it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in front of the speed zone, Todd. Line by
Okay.
line is talking.
Yeah.
You can't.
There's one in Tennessee, and then drive through the different, that way, it's on the down way, the street. Maybe it's a stop sign.
And then the last thing I have, did you say Tennessee and Marion Drive? The last thing I have is the treasurer's report. Total revenue collections for the city in June 2026 totaled $183,674.47. Total expenses for the city in June 2026 totaled $243,966.11. The city's year-to-date revenue collections was $183,000.
It's right. It's a.
Oh, yeah, so sorry, thank you. Was $183,674.47. And the total expenses was $243,966.11. As I was reading that, I heard Director Kettler in the corner saying that is right. I was caught off guard there, but yes, June was the first month of the fiscal year, which means those numbers would be the same. And I did not process that as I was reading it. So.
I thought the same thing.
I did too.
I stopped and I'm like, wait a second.
What do you mean?
So I can take any general questions.
Did you skip over the library?
No, I do not.
Where was that?
You're just not listening.
Can't keep up to notes.
Anything else? All right, thank you guys.
Okay, we're going to the enterprise director's report.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. So we'll start with the water treatment plant. I'm gonna kind of skip through a little bit of this stuff. I'm gonna skip to the maintenance portion of the water treatment plant. Over the coming months, staff will begin scheduled cleaning and maintenance of all of the intake house and water treatment plant to ensure continued efficiency and reliability. Basically, once a year, we schedule to completely shut down our plant, our intake house, completely pump it down, wash out the mussels, mud, things like that at the intake house, and then the same for the primary and secondary basins, and just do a general maintenance over the facility. So we'll be doing that coming up here, usually September, October. The 20-year plan, following our 20-year plan, we're going to be getting quotes and pricing for the replacement of some actuators and valves that need to be replaced within our water treatment plant in the basement. This was planned and budgeted for. I'm bringing it to your attention just because once we get those, they could be anywhere from $20,000 to $45,000. So I want it, and it is budgeted for, but I want the council to be aware that those will be coming in at some point. I know Robert, Chief Operator of the water plant's been working on that. Class for the water treatment plant, we currently got one staff member attending a class to obtain his license for water for the plant itself. They're able to do that in-house. We've got some extra monitors or TVs that we've set up down there, so they're taking a virtual class, and then he'll either schedule to take his class or his test over on the computer online, or go to a facility where he can sit inside and do it. One of the biggest things that we opted to do this year was to get as many of our employees certified and licensed. So going down to the wastewater treatment plant, roof and HVAC replacement request for bids was issued on July 27th. The bid period will remain open for a month, allowing for review, selection, and scheduling with the goal of completing the project during cooler weather conditions. So we're hoping that we run it for a month, to the end of August. We'll receive them September 4th. I think we open them, and then we'll bring it to the council, possibly at a work study meeting. We may have to have a special meeting that we can get it scheduled sometime for late September, October to get it done before winter comes in. The Trojan UV system repairs, we had our tech down again for some repairs. It was all under the warranty portion of it, so there was no cost. There was some issues that they were having when they installed it. Perimeter lighting, if you'd have drove by the wastewater plant at any point in time over the last couple weeks, well, I shouldn't say last couple weeks, we fixed this a week and a half ago. So the last month, We were having an issue with the perimeter lights staying on 24/7. When we did that energy efficiency analysis with Missouri Rural Water Association, that was one of the things that they kind of brought to our attention, not necessarily that one particular issue, but anytime those lights stay on, it's costing us money. You don't need them during the daylight. So we were able to fix those by changing the photo cell on it, and now they are working as designed. And also for the wastewater plant, we have one staff member that'll be attending a class in Macon, so he's physically going to be driving back and forth to Macon to get his license, and it's expected to start, I think it was August 11th, so coming up here pretty soon. Moving on to distribution. I leave these meter purchases on here just so the council's always aware that we have approximately 10,000. We're just not trying to spend it all at once. We're making sure that we can get what we need done without spending the money. Fire hydrants, crews have been actively painting and maintaining fire hydrants throughout the system. We kind of got on hold for a little bit because we actually used all the paint and the supplier couldn't get it to us in time, but we've got more, so they'll be continuing on with that. I'm going to skip down to the sewer camera. We were having some issues. So back in 2015, we bought a lot of people don't know we have it, but we bought a robot. I call it a robot. It's a sewer camera that goes into, you actually lower it down the manholes and it'll drive through the sewer mains. We were having some issues with it, so I had Co-Equipment come and pick it up. I will tell you, they've already come back with a cost estimate on it, and it looks like repairs are going to be, I think it was about $10,500. And I will present that to the council probably at the next meeting. The issue is one item. So it's a 6-wheel robot. It's got a camera head that sticks off about 4.5 inches off the front. It's a pressurized with nitrogen. And if it holds its nitrogen, then that means it's not going to take on water. If it can't let air out, it can't let water in. And that's the way to make sure it's correct. We weren't actually able to hold our nitrogen, so that was one of the biggest causes to get it looked at. And since 2015, they have that repair processes went obsolete. They've changed how they repair those, and that seal kit to tear that apart is $4,500 alone. I will tell you, when we bought that camera, if I remember correctly, we spent like $55,000 on the camera in 2015. I'd say it's probably a $90,000 camera now, and it has saved us tremendous amounts of money. If we have an issue with our sewer system, it will literally allow us to drive right to the break in the sewer line. We have a locator. It puts us right on top of that. It will allow us to dig right where the issue is instead of just blind digging through our streets. So $10,000 is a lot. $55,000 is a lot, I understand. But it has saved us hundreds of thousands of dollars since we've had it. And we've had it for 11 years. Going on to the grants portion, just to kind of keep this in the council's eyes, that $5,050,000 grant was submitted. I did follow up on it with DNR, and they have not moved on any of that yet. So they still seem like they're pretty confident that we will get it, but they just haven't done anything with it yet. And then I just kind of keep the energy efficiency analysis just because I haven't got that report back. I want to be able to present and share that report, and I don't want to lose sight of that it is still lingering out there. Two things that I've asked the council for approval tonight. I know it's later on, but I'll just talk about it real fast. Is the Hawk Service partnership quote. It's a service contract for all of our testing equipment in the water treatment plant itself. The total of that contract is $10,809. It was a budgeted line item. It's impossible to get comparative pricing because Hawk makes our equipment. They are the only ones that service their equipment. There is no other. There's no other way to go around that. I know I don't have it in front of me. I sent everyone an email about a week and a half ago. I did reach out. I spoke with Robert because last year was our first year doing this, and I wanted to get Robert's opinion on if it was worth redoing. And his exact email is what I sent to you guys. I copied and pasted verbatim. Essentially, he says it was well worth the money. They even did some things that we would have had to pay for, and there was some calibration things that we can't do that we would have to pay for. So they were able to do that. They do that part of this contract. And then the other is the water and sewer bill adjustment resolution. And that's just to streamline and make things easier. It's not taking away from anybody, but more so just slowing it down and making it to where it's easier for us to manage. So that's all I have for enterprise.
While you're there, you want to go ahead and do your fire chief's report?
I can, and I will. So before we move forward with the rest of our time together tonight, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the passing of someone who meant a great deal to this community, John Sitton. John spent over 20 years with the Louisiana Fire Department and was a familiar face to so many through his years of service, his work in insurance, and the relationships he built along the way. He was someone people knew, trusted, and respected. His impact on this community will not be forgotten, and he will be deeply missed. At this time, I'd like that we all take a moment to join together for a moment of silence in the honor of John Sitton. All right. On to department updates. A request for bids to replace the fire station roof goes out August 6th. We'll run for 2 weeks. I know Cameron brought this up, but I just kind of wanted to mention it also. This Saturday is National Night Out. It's from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Louisiana, we will have trucks that will be going from party to party. We hope to see as many people as we can. Part of the budget for this year, we also budgeted for 2 members to be fitted for gear. I wanted to let you know that that was done. That gear is on order, and I think it's roughly 6 to 12 weeks before we will get it. That was budgeted, like I said, that was budgeted for. And that is also, we historically have had an issue where we have to spend $60,000 to $80,000 and buy everyone's gear at one time. This process allows us to buy 2 gears a year and keep us with compliance of an expiration date. Basically, for 20 people, 2 gears a year. When the 10-year hits the mark, you're just cycling and moving into the next. And so there's no large lump sum. It costs us roughly $6,500 to buy 2 a year versus $80,000 at one time. So it's just a way to continue to move in a forward motion and not cause us to have to take a loan or go bankrupt in one order. The assistance to firefighters grant was successfully submitted. I just want to keep that on the books too. It was for $625,000 and it was for a new fire truck. Medical incident response data, medical calls. We had 12 medical calls, 10 fire, and 4 special events. I also want this to be noted that was for up until July 27th. I did not figure in from the 27th until today. So that's all I have for the fire.
Do the police chief report?
Good evening, Mayor Council. Couple things I wanted to touch on. We've applied for 2 grants. One is through MoDOT. It's for approximately $7,000, and it's for 2 new radar units. We do have one that's down, and another one that's probably getting quite at that age to be replaced. So we've applied for that one, and then also the Missouri Blue Shield grant for this year. The award was less than what we anticipated, just due to the nature of more agencies applying for it and those funds being distributed equally to each agency. So it come in at $28,000, and we submitted everything to replace our handheld radios that are quite dated. They're approximately 20 years old, and quite frankly, some are in need of repair, and they're hard to get batteries for anymore. On top of that, so communications essential, so that's what we applied for this year. We are also taking part in National Night Out, and we all have to be blind to see that flop cameras are at the forefront of everything. And I'd like the council to consider having a public hearing regarding those, and that way I can have an expert on hand to educate both the public and the council as far as what their capabilities are and aren't. And so we can eliminate some misconceptions and then put our heads together with what we want to do from there. As far as activity, we had 342 calls for service. Now, this is between June 29th and August 2nd, so it's not just a 1 month picture like it usually is. And that's all I have.
Okay, any discussion? Questions?
I have a question. So, since we are in meetings, I feel like I want to be as educated as possible. Well, could we actually, I know your office isn't that big, but take a few of us council people at a time and actually sit with us and show us how it works? So we can
Absolutely,
understand
and you
that?
guys can feel free. I am out of office tomorrow for court, but the rest of the week I'll be around if anybody wants to stop in at any time.
To learn what
I'm more than
happens.
happy to show it to you.
And if you could also prepare at some point, because it seems like it's the oversight, it's 25, whatever police officers used to do correctly. Are there reports that it would generate that citizens feel more comfortable, that it's a report every month who
And-
was looked or whatever, something like that?
And that was actually gonna be one of my proposals to the council for consideration to kind of rectify the situation, because there are, to put it in a little bit of perspective, there's, for what I was able to find, 36 confirmed cases of misuse, and that's across the United States. Right, to put that in perspective, there's roughly 860,000 sworn local officers in the United States. So those 36 cases of misuse is actually an extremely low amount of misuse. Now, there are laws and everything to hold those people accountable for that misuse. It's no different than what we receive off of mules notifications, Missouri Uniform Law Enforcement System, and DOR. Those records, same thing. They can't be misused, and if they are, there's laws to prevent that, and those people are held accountable. And in regards specifically to the block system, it does just like mules and DOR. It records every transaction that's done across them. So it's all auditable and can be seen as an honest notice to take a look at. But one of my proposals, and maybe we can all talk about it in the public hearing and come up with how we proceed. But one of my recommendations is maybe we do a monthly police report. Why not do the same for a usage report for flock to show that there's no misuse going on with things like that. That way it's audited at least once a month. Or we can do it a different, whatever we
The more
decide.
we have to be educated as a council, before we have the hearings, to me, is then we can see.
And when it's scheduled, what I like to do is I like to have an expert. I mean, maybe not a flock expert, but just, since people maybe will be distrusting of what a flock representative has to say, but maybe a Department of Public Safety representative come and educate everybody on what we can do.
Another thing to consider too is no matter what we do as a city on our flock cameras, the county is always going to have flock cameras here.
And Department of Public Safety, the one at Airco, it belongs to the Department of Public Safety. So, right.
Yeah, that would also be nice to know, have a little map where they are and who has them.
And I can show you that easily.
And I'm just thinking of those things, just so we're educated and we know where they're at. Then when people come to us too, I have been, I have to educate myself first.
Yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions about them, especially on social media. They can do a lot of things that, frankly, I haven't seen that they would be possible. So, like I said, I want to have somebody come in and educate us also. When we make our decision, we're making it off of facts, not, resurrecting hyperbole, if that makes sense. Which is what Facebook is full of.
So when they came up with the number on Facebook of 14, is that probably how many are here that are owned by all the different?
I don't even think there's that many here that are owned by different agencies. Now, there are, like Pike County, Illinois has one on the other side of the bridge, and they've got numerous throughout Pike County, Illinois. DPS is the only one that I can think of off the top of my head that has one in town. I do think MoDOT has a camera, but I don't know that it's a license.
That would all be helpful information.
But the number of bars is 7.
And that number, we actually only paid for 5. The other 2, I think, was a miscommunication with Block because they of course came with their initial presentation of these are where we would recommend everything else. Well, because it was paid for with grant funding, due to limitations of what we needed for that, we actually eliminated 2 of them. But I think lines got crossed somewhere between them and their installation people, and we got 2 more than what we actually paid for. So, and those 2 are the ones that are on Georgia Street.
I have one other question. So the $28,000, I realize that's the lower number than what you talked about during budgeting. Will that be able to cover the replacement of your radios?
So I've actually, it will cover it for the most part. And then I've already talked to the one of the directors at MOSWIN, which is the Missouri Statewide Interactive Network that handles radios. And the Highway Patrol has actually upgraded theirs from what they had, and they're fairly new. So we're on the list, and they're going to send this will replace 4, because they also have to have in-car repeaters is a requirement with the grant. And so this will pay for the 4 and the in-car repeaters, and then we're getting an additional 4 for free from the Highway Patrol. They'll just have to be programmed this year.
Those gonna be the digital radios.
Yes, this will put us all on MOSWIN.
I know through the fire service, we're looking at changing everything over to digital as well, so.
In fire service, they have the same requirement for the grant, but they can circumvent it in only having like 1 repeater.
Right.
Whereas, because typically when the fire department goes to something, they're not going to it by themselves, whereas officers are, and that's why for us to have it, we have to have 5, we have to have an in-car repeater in each car. So, which ups the price of it quite a bit, so.
You have one question?
Not just, before you guys jump too much in this, I don't know how close you follow the Supreme Court, but there's a lot going on with the Supreme Court of the United States that you cannot break about flock cameras. So that is pending. So that would be something, it's too much invested into it. And I've talked to a lot of people in the community, and it's not so much the fact that they're there, because like I put on Facebook, God forbid it's your child or grandchild, your kid, anybody that's kidnapped and they're using it. It's when they're abused. And nobody likes to be spied on or targeted. It's a bad feeling. But there are Supreme Court issues going on right now to where they're trying to make them to see if they are actually constitutional.
And that's what you're gonna have to sell people on, Josh. Not whether or not it can be misused. People don't want 7 cameras taking pictures to go across the town with groceries. And who wants 7 cameras on in a small town?
Unless you're circling town, you're not getting 7 pictures taken.
So you're saying the cameras don't take a photo every time the license plate?
They do, but I mean, what are the odds is when you go to the grocery store, you're circling town?
Well, depending on your route.
Entrance and exit, and then going down Georgia Street.
I'm just saying that's what.
There's only 2 main arteries in town. The block cameras are there.
And
Does it only take a picture if it's on the system to be targeted or whatever? Or does
It captures all license plates in vehicles. It does not do facial character recognition or anything crazy like that. It's just license plates. And I mean, we don't even know that the plate went past or anything like that unless it was entered into Mules or NCIC involving stolen vehicle, wanted fugitive, missing person, Amber alerts are of course in there, those types of things. Those when those people do pass, it sends an alert to the officer directly. And, so those can be followed up on immediately because those are something that need attention. But as far as every plate that goes past it or anything like that, no,
you're not alerted and you don't?
No, they're not. It's not alerted. And
so, you know where Carly lives, because Carly's here, Applegate's here. There's one right there as you go out of town. Why does that thing light up at weird times of the night and turn like infrared?
I mean, there might be lights on it that help it take pictures of the plates in the dark.
But like even when cars aren't passing, they shut off that watch, this thing lights up.
I mean, and that's probably just,
I didn't know if it was like a battery, like solar, maybe charging it or how that part works.
I mean, I would say that's probably just so that it can be prepared to take photos at night, you know, the little light set.
I know it turned, it looks evil.
Are these, is this a live feed from these cameras?
No, you cannot get on and do that.
So not, no time anybody can get their credentials and go down to a live video and watch it?
No. It's only photographs of vehicles and plates.
Okay.
When, say a plate goes by and they have this warrant, it automatically, that's when it lets you all know.
Correct.
It just takes a picture.
Right.
It's not a video.
No, it's just a picture.
Well, I have a question. How many pictures does it wind up taking after the first one?
What do you mean? It only takes one of the vehicles.
In the life, and you can still tell, the AI can still tell whether or not a car is speeding based on how many clicks.
No, it does not do any kind of traffic enforcement, anything like that.
No, I'm not saying it can't. I'm just saying it can. I'm not saying it does. I'm saying the ability to take a look at.
Never would it be used for that.
Huh?
Never would it be used for that.
I would hope not.
Well, the bylaws of the Missouri Constitution rule that out, but.
I mean, that's red light cameras and all those have been deemed unconstitutional. So.
It just has pros and cons.
I mean, just given a situation that, I mean, I heard, this isn't my time here, but my time in Pike County, we had a kidnapping a block from here. And the brother in that case, the little boy gave the best, he was the hero of that case. He gave the perfect vehicle description. And if these would have been in existence then, we found her really fast. I mean,
Before he shaved her head. I said before he shaved her head, it made her look like a little boy.
and who knows what else.
What other cities in Pike County have block cameras?
Bowling Green has several. I know they were looking to add a couple more to what they have. And then Pike County is actually looking to purchase a couple of theirs up there as well. Because they were awarded the blue sheet grant this year too.
Yeah, just one point I'd like to make, maybe it's a little bit esoteric, I don't know, but one of the first things you learn when you start studying political science and in a democracy, there's always that challenge to balance individual freedom with order in society. And that balance over our history has changed over time. And so what does that have to do with this? It influences my opinion about block cameras. I can see both sides.
Yes.
I want the ability, like you said, if there's a kidnapping or something like that, and we didn't have, and if that helps us force multiply with our police department, that's a good thing. On the other hand, especially since 9/11, there's been a lot of law written that has basically intruded on our privacy. I'm glad the Supreme Court's looking at this. And so my issue with flock cameras is not the cameras themselves, okay? My issue with flock cameras it's not really an issue, it's just what I would want to see is that there are ironclad, strict rules and regulations about how those cameras are used.
Yeah.
That's my issue. And I know there's also another style of this camera that is a surveillance camera. You see them in St. Louis go down by St. Louis U, every street corner has a surveillance camera on it. And
That's not what we have.
and I would hate, like a lot of things in life, things become a slippery slope.
Exactly.
And that I would not want to see something like that, especially in a town like this. I think in their current state, it's a tool, just like everything else. But I don't want to see the abuse. It's not the system, it's the rules. And
there's been officers put in jail for this
Yeah.
already.
and misidentify somebody.
Some rules and DOR records as well. I've been charged, I'm guilty of it.
So we need, we just need to make sure that we're balancing that scale correctly. We need to help the police do their job, but on the other hand, we're not gonna stop
The
on
lady of
individual liberty.
justice is supposed to be blindfolded for a reason.
I'm sorry?
The lady of justice is supposed to be blindfolded for a reason.
Yeah, and so I think the public hearing
Like, the
Is
one
it-
camera's kind of pulling up her.
is a great idea because it allows us to gather information and make an informed decision. So often in this town, over the last few years, and I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but a lot of times we knee jerk. And all I want to do is make sure that we have the information at our disposal to where we can make an informed decision that solves the problem as opposed to just knee jerking something.
And I
And
think,
sometimes that takes time.
I think we'll do that with,
I think we will.
public hearing, and we'll give a seminar to citizens. I think we'll cover this quite a bit.
Yeah, that'd be my recommendation.
Yeah, I agree.
So, now, we'll set that up in the future. We'll get that done.
That's all I have.
I don't even know.
Thank you. Anything, questions for Josh? Thank you, Josh. Before we move on, let's backtrack just a little bit, and I need a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
So move.
We have a first and a second, any discussion?
I'm concerned about the $60,000 deficit spending. According to the report, we're $60,000, city year to date, we're $60,291.64 in the hole.
I can say that's due to one-time payments that have to come out in June. They just come out for the entire year. It will balance out.
Okay,
It looks rough right now.
okay, yeah, I mean, I saw that and it's like, holy crap.
That's the Georgia Street payments. That's the same for Enterprise too. The Georgia Street payments and all that stuff comes out at one time. I payments, everything comes out right at the beginning of fiscal year.
Yeah, I just,
Which, to elaborate on that a little bit more, even though it shows that it's a deficit, that funding comes from debt service accounts. So we're not running in a deficit. That's already money that's allotted for that debt service. But overall, it shows the negative.
all I'm saying,
Yeah.
and
No, I understand.
the only reason I bring it up is that when a member of the public sees that, they're gonna say, holy moly, we're 60,000 in the hole. They don't understand the nuances.
I wonder if there's a way that it could be changed to where maybe it deciphers the difference of debt service, because if we take income for debt service and expend out of the same debt service, so maybe that could reflect on the debt service portion of that line item versus, and then leave our general account for general operations.
Yeah, it could be broken out.
Yeah.
So that you see that those are paid out of that service.
Because if it was broke out, it wouldn't look negative.
General operating.
And perhaps in the notes, when you give us this, there could be a note to that explaining to the council members how that is being divvied up. Or where that money's going or coming from.
Because essentially we spend I'm just using rough number, we spend 75,000 on one payment in June, but we'll collect to reimburse, get that payment back all through the year. So that's why at the end of the budget year, it'll be zeroed out.
Okay.
Because like water, we collect $3.06, $4.60. For I, we collect all those different little amounts for that debt service. So I do see what you're
You see what I'm saying?
saying. Yeah.
Just, we know that, but the public doesn't know.
If
that.
our fiscal year ran a little different to where we paid our debt service, say July, or not say July, say May, it would be right at the end of the year. So we would collect all year debt services, but it would balance our out. But it's just backwards on us.
Well, then in the report, maybe we can make a notation that clarifies that.
I made a note down to have the treasurer address that in the future.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say yes?
Yes.
Opposed?
That's one of
Motion carries. Move on to committee reports. Are there any committee reports?
I just want to make a comment about all of you I put on your desk or at your spot. This 6-point community development plan. This is for the meeting on Wednesday night with the Economic Development Committee. I wanted to get it to you ahead of time. This is not an all-inclusive list. It's just it's a starting point for discussion. Wednesday night, I encourage not only the committee members, but any council member that wants to attend. It's at 6 o'clock. I also encourage any members of the public to want to attend and give their input. I'll make sure everybody gets a copy of this. Again, this is a starting point. It's not all-inclusive. Some of the stuff we're doing on here, we're listed on here, we're already doing. And some of it we're doing quite well. Other things, it's just a starting point for a discussion. Because I want to start having wins. You know, even if they're only singles. I want to start having some wins.
I was like the memory thing's still an issue with me. But like 2 months ago, we was like, I made the suggestion, can we please find one positive, like, thing going that way?
That's what this is designed to
I
do.
wasn't listening, I was zoned out reading the Supreme
Well,
Court.
I'm zoned out all the time.
No, I was reading the Supreme Court.
And basically, that's what this is designed to do, to start spurring some positive discussion about how we move forward. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Come to the meeting Wednesday night.
I don't know what's about, I told you I was reading about the Supreme Court,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Come Wednesday night, it'll be like this.
I take no offense to you, and all of this, but I don't want to go and sit and look like that.
Okay.
Is that what Winston it is?
Hmm?
Is it Winston got an animal?
No, it's economic.
That's fine.
It's economic development.
That's what I was trying to get at, you guys get better word on it.
And the other agenda item we'll have on that meeting is we need tomorrow's election day. And I'm not being political here, but we have a ballot, we have an item on the ballot, constitutional amendment. It's going to drastically alter the way taxation goes down.
4 or 5.
And 5. And it's gonna have a significant impact potentially on municipal finances.
So no.
And so we need to get ahead of that. So, and we'll kind of talk about that a little bit.
Okay, any other committee reports?
So, Glenda and
Alice.
I have that habit, just all of a sudden, the name goes away. Nothing else. Anyway, Alice is in the garden club, and we had all attended the Main Street. And then we talked about this. One of the things that keeps coming up over and over is we want to make our town inviting, somewhere someone would want to move, somewhere someone would like to be. So one of the first things, Mark has already gone to the relief, but it's the forest relief, because if you Google relief, you get a marijuana. So that is not where we're getting our stuff from. And Mark talked to the arborist there, and we secured a 65 redbud trees, and then also 12 hackberry. And so those will go down Georgia and other places. So one of the things that the 3 of us ladies thought would be great is this, got this really cool lot here, nothing's on, has the stone surround. So Glenn and I about yanked our hair out trying to do this for the presentation to the garden club. We did this with AI. This is kind of a rendition of what we'd like to have, a fountain in the middle, trees. Glenda had said, oh, somewhere to go and sit and reflect. Clinton, I think, had mentioned perhaps around the fountain, things, memory, like we've done at the riverfront, but someone that passed that you'd want to put there. A lot of us have had cancer, and lost both parents to cancer, things like that. But somewhere we can go where you could sit. Now, it will take a while for it to get looking like this. Welcome to pass it around. So we spoke to the garden club about.
Don't put a Momo statue in, I swear to God.
No. This is just a general.
I was looking at it for a second.
So the next step, we're gonna ask the citizens to give their ideas. Now, this was just to kind of get a little start. This is what it's gonna look like for sure. So we're gonna put out asking citizens, what do you think? Give us your ideas because we can't think of everything. And we want to get something that will work for all. The garden club, we have asked them, of course, they've got to have time to consider it, but to put baskets on our light poles in the summertime. And Clinton has been nice enough to say the water department would be willing to water them twice a week. And I'm not gonna let you get out of that no matter what. But because the garden club members are older, probably average age is about 75 maybe. So anyway, so, but they kind of, they picked up on it and they're going, hey, let's do that. They're the ones with the big contenders on the street.
Here. I think that all it needs is a water pump, I think.
Yeah, and it's on our list to get rid
Like,
of.
citizen assistance.
How much did that fountain cost?
It was free.
It was free?
Stark Brothers donated. When Kathy Smith was mayor, she asked them, they were closing down their garden center, she said, hey, what are you gonna do with that? She said, we'll take it.
I think we have another pump for that at the street shed too.
So not to take away from that, but there are still a lot of questions about if, like, it's August now, but about doing that community garden. And a lot of it kicked off over your cucumbers.
Well, the one that came up,
But I mean,
We were talking, changing it from a community garden to a neighborhood garden, because there's so many lots that aren't even being used that the city owns. And you would have more pride in taking care of a garden if it was in your neighborhood. And, you know, you would have to sign something saying that you're gonna be a part of this neighborhood because it has to be kept cleaned up, weeded, and all that good stuff. So we're kind of switching it off, thinking about next year doing neighborhood gardens.
okay. I was just curious because like 2 people asked me because I guess you ran out of cucumbers.
No, there's still more cucumbers on the table, so.
Katie thinks you're out. And she's like, Mom, how did you miss that? I'm like, girl, I on Facebook
No,
like it
there's
was.
more.
She'll be there because I bought a big bottle of range and 3 cucumbers now. Here we go.
Get the high school kids with the FFA involved in that too.
Yeah, we were thinking, we were talking about that too.
point, before issuing a citation for short driveways under 22 feet. However, the fundamental rule still remains that the obstructing pedestrian flow is an enforceable violation. So I tried to find in and out. That pretty much looks like the only thing. There's no grandfathering in. I asked that. There's none of that. But we do have this issue with the number. And I don't know if that's for sure, but the woman was here. They had bought the house there on Georgia, and they redid their porch. And then she said, we can't walk, we can't park across there. And their house is for sale. And I don't know if that's the reason, but I sure as heck wouldn't move, unpack, and then have to.
They had few parking spots in front of them. That was the whole issue with that house. They're parking off the sidewalk now. Because there was more spaces and they just.
They just moved their garages full and they got the ticket.
No, there's actual pavement there for them, concrete that they could have moved up 2 feet.
Behind their house, correct?
No, in front of their house. Well, when you go by it, look and see how much room they have in front of their house, on the side of it. You'll be
So
surprised.
anyway, I can't find a solution other than if we do institute that if someone complains and, you know, because we don't, I would like us to be known as helpful and friendly in our town and that we try to work with everybody, but, you know, our police are here to follow the law and enforce it. So, that's the best I can come up with.
Well, sometimes you can't put lipstick on a pig, and this is a pig that maybe you can't put lipstick on because, yeah, the ADA is very specific. There's not a lot of wiggle room. So how do we take a town that basically the sidewalks and everything were all laid, where ADA was the gleam in anybody's eye and conform, and it's a challenge.
Some of our sidewalks on the north side of Georgia, there's several sections, like between 12th and 13th Street. There's their sidewalk that really isn't there, basically. It's more grass than it is any sidewalk.
And I'm gonna get kudos to the business at Life Works for, because he has took his employees out and they have edged the sidewalks and shoveled all the dirt off of them, and you'd be surprised how wide their sidewalks are. And that's something that we need to do, and I'm gonna talk to the Lions about it too, and see if maybe we can do a couple blocks, for one of our city projects.
Yeah.
And it's real simple, most weed you just turn over and you just edge them down with a weed eater and then shovel off that extra dirt that's there from the last 100 years.
Weeder, what's that?
It makes a difference.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's a fun fact, when they were putting him in, I read the old newspapers to look for stories about people in town, and they called them granitoid. You're getting granitoid, put down. They didn't even call them sidewalks, they were granitoid like paths or something. But it's kind of funny to that. So, I don't know the solution.
Yeah, we definitely have some more discussion we have to do on that. All right, let's go on to new business. Resolution 17-2026 handbook adoption. The chair will entertain a motion to approve resolution 17-2026 approving the employee handbook for the personnel administration of city employees.
So moved by title.
Second.
We have a first and second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. City clerk, will we please call the roll?
Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frazeau,
Yes.
Councilman Griffin,
Yes.
Councilman Holtzhauser,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips.
Yep.
Councilman Poston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sitton,
Motion carries. Do we have a second reading of that?
You need to have a second reading.
Or resolution?
So moved that we do the second reading by title only.
Second.
I'm sorry.
I thought it was an ordinance.
No, it's a resolution.
Okay, it was my error.
Then we don't need a second reading? No, I didn't think so.
All right, we'll move on to resolution 18-2026 on the interim solutions agreement. Chair will entertain a motion to approve resolution 18-2026 approving the goal setting proposal for interim solutions.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed?
No.
Clerk, will you read the? You want to have, is there any discussion?
No.
City clerk, will you, please read the roll?
Yeah. Councilman Baker,
No.
Councilman Frazeau,
Yes.
Councilman Griffin,
No.
Councilwoman Holtzhauser,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips,
No.
Councilman Poston,
No.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sitton, pass. I need
Motion
fail.
Does not pass.
Wait. Yep, it failed. Sorry.
Which one was it, just so we know?
It was a proposal for interim solutions for a kind of a
Consulting.
consulting for goal setting and for council.
Gotcha.
What direction we want to go with the city?
Yeah.
I have a question that I've kind of been confused about for a while. Now, this resolution failed. Okay, it's on the quorum, question about the quorum. Do we go by the 7 people that are sitting here for our quorum, or is the 8th person that's not here, are they counted on the quorum? But sometimes I read, and it says they are, and some things I read, and it says it's not.
For a resolution, it's a majority of the people who are here.
Mhm.
for ordinances, it's a majority of people elected.
Yeah.
So it would be 8.
Okay.
So given that fact, it still doesn't.
Yeah, it failed, yeah. I need that clarified for myself,
Okay.
how that went.
All right, good. We'll move on to the next resolution, 20-2026, the water and sewer bill adjustment. The chair will entertain a motion to approve resolution 20-2026, adopting a water and sewer bill adjustment policy for the city of Louisiana enterprise.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. City clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Councilwoman Joe,
Yes.
Councilman Griffin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Holtzhauser,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips,
Yes.
Councilman Polston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sitten.
Motion carries. Hatch service contract. Cameron?
Yes.
The Hatch service contract with,
That was the service agreement to the library.
No, it's not.
That's
That's
the walk
Oh, okay. That's my bad. Sorry.
That's that, for the, water treatment plant.
do we have that? Did everybody have that?
I sent it to you.
Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I did not print that out. I did send it to your emails. I'm so sorry.
So nobody has that.
Please don't kill me.
I also sent it to the emails a week and a half ago with my email explaining it. I mean, if they don't have it, we can.
Can we table it?
They have.
Can that wait for the next?
Yeah, we can do it at the end of August because the expiration is the September 9th, 2026. So we can do it at the end of this month. That'd be fun.
Make a motion to table that resolution.
Second.
We have a first and second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. We need a roll call on that. Miscellaneous business. Approve comments from the public on any item discussed during the meeting. Do we have any immediate clarification? Sorry.
Mike Sherman, 811 North 8th, Louisiana, Missouri. So you wanted something positive to talk about. So, I love the water department. It's fascinating to me. So I like to look at water all the time. I was taking a shower and I didn't have to use hardly any hot water. Of course, it was the hottest part of the summer. But that shows that the mixer on the East Street tank is working great. Because water draws from the bottom and that water is typically cold. And since my water was lukewarm coming out of the tap, that mixer is doing wonderful. So I did some data mining in 2024. We had 7 violations. 2025, we had 7 violations. And in 2026, we have 4, but 2 of them don't count because one of those violations was the lead and copper report not turned in on time, and they dinged us on fluoride, and we really didn't want to put that in water anyhow, but Cameron's got a solution for that coming down the pipe. So I want to commend the water department and enterprise along with the director and say that they are doing a wonderful job. They have cut the violations by more than 50% over the last 2 years. Much more than 50%. 2 versus 7 in violations in the last 2 years. So now they're doing a really good job and it shows. Anthony, he's already gone. They only got 3 days of water, so we can't provide water services for a data center because we don't have the capacity.
Among other things.
If anybody wants to look up the statistics, it's modwv.gecsws.com, and that will tell you the water quality for all the area in Missouri, right, Clinton?
That's correct.
He always waters down everything, so you never, that's why you never compliment him, because he waters down. The guy just doesn't take credit for anything, But I love water, and I think our water is really good, and you can look it up, and it proves it.
DNR Water Watch is a little more simple way to look at. He's giving you the whole URL. But if you go to Google and type in DNR Water Watch, it's Missouri's. They changed their website recently. They call it Water Watch now. It gives you the availability, you can look at every public water supply in the state of Missouri and compare them. It gives you all of our violations. It gives them all of our MCL levels. It gives everything to know about the city of Louisiana's water, when it was established, violations back to when it was established. It shows everything.
Mm-hmm.
So
I didn't want to go back that far. It was probably worse in years before.
So you see why when I'm sitting here, I'm
What's
like,
that
I'm probably
date?
not
That
laughing
date
at
on
you
that
all.
thing was like
That-
1883 or 1887, something.
yeah, we've struggled with violations
I
for a
really
while.
invested
So.
a long time ago after we were scored one night, so we went the wrong way.
Anyhow, the water department's doing a great job.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Media clarification? Being none. The chair will entertain a motion to enter closed session per RSMO 610.021, 1, 2, and 3. Legal actions, causes of action, or litigation involving a public government body, and any confidential or privileged communications between a public governmental body or its representatives and its attorneys, RSMO 610-0211. Hiring, firing, disciplining, or promoting of particular employees by the city, RSMO 610.023. Also, individually identifiable personnel records, performance ratings, or records pertaining to employees, RSMO 610.02113, allowing the city council, city clerk, police chief, city administrator, enterprise director, and the city attorney.
Oh, so moved.
We have a first and second. Is there any discussion? City clerk, will you call the roll?
Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frejo,
Yes.
Councilman Griffin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Holtzhauser,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips,
Yep.
Councilman Polston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sitten.
Motion has passed. We are in closed session. Just a little note, council people, if you would, please. I do request that everyone leave their phones and any kind of boxes if you're in the emergency before we go in.
most wonderful time of the year, and that is NFL football season.
We all deserve to see.
I'm unavailable on Monday, Tuesday,
I'm on a
Thursday,
diet.
Sundays.
Oh, yes, thank you, honey.
I came back 7
I think we
pounds.
deserve
Otherwise,
Good, because I'm starving. This will be my dinner.
You too. You want
Hey,
another
no
one?
Bogart.
What's in my butt?
Attorney stop.
I forgot how good Skittles were.
Acting like a dang Halloween in here. Oh, my phone.
I wasn't joking, that was my good one. That's what I take my mind.
Yeah, mine went off at 8:30.
This is supper.
Huh? I don't go to bed at 8:30. I just lay down at 8:30.
Yeah, but she was smart.
Oh my gosh, I taste it. Yeah.
Before you eat any of the chocolate, I had a chocolate one this morning. So they're not melted, but they taste like the mints.
Yeah, this tastes like
You won't believe me until you do it.
Root beer.
I wish you did believe me, doesn't it?
It tastes like root beer.
I couldn't have my mouth until I ate lunch. I eat sweet potatoes the same way.
Okay, sit down and let's be quiet. We got business to do.
I'm already doing that. If you guys go another 30 minutes, this will be how long the impeachment trial takes.
Cameron, stop saying stuff like that. We are so unserious. There's your phone back. I was like, whose phone is that?
Mr. Gibbons.
Yeah.
We are very unserious people here. It's how we make it better.
Making that thing.
I make $250 a day.
We're in the wrong business.
Yeah. Back in open session. The chair will entertain a motion to give Bill 7260 a first reading by title only.
Second.
And the first and second, is there any discussion? City clerk, will you call the roll?
Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frazeau,
Yes.
Councilman Griffin,
Yes.
Councilman Holtzhauser,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips.
Yeah.
Councilman Poston,
yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sitten.
Passed. Bill number 7260, an ordinance to approve a contract with Kevin A. Richardson and the law firm of Zick, Boss, Lee, Richardson, and Brinker, P.C., providing legal services in defending the city from the case currently pending in the Circuit Court of Pike County, Missouri, styled Brian Spencer versus City of Louisiana, Missouri.
Make a motion.
Wait a second. The chair will entertain a motion to give Bill 7260 a second reading by title only.
Make a motion.
Second.
We have a first and second. Is there any discussion? City clerk, will you call the roll?
Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frazeau,
Yes.
Councilman Griffin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Holtzhauser,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips.
Yeah.
Councilman Poston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Abstain.
Councilwoman Sitten.
After, we have to go vote again one more time.
You have to actually read the title twice.
You have to read the title again.
Bill number 7260, an ordinance to approve a contract with Kevin A. Richardson and the law firm of Zick, Boss, Lee, Richardson, and Brinker, P.C., for providing legal services in defending the city in the case currently pending in the Circuit Court of Pike County, Missouri, styled Brian Spencer versus the City of Louisiana, Missouri.
Make a motion.
The chair will entertain
Second.
a motion to pass and approve Bill 7260.
Second.
We have a first and second. Is there any discussion? City clerk, will you call the roll?
Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frazeau,
Yes.
Councilman Griffin,
Yes.
Councilman Holzhauser,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips,
Yes.
Councilman Polston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Abstain.
Councilwoman Sitten.
Bill 7260 has been passed and adopted and approved this third day of August 2026. Resolution 19-2026, appointment of city treasurer. A resolution of the city of Louisiana, Missouri, approving the appointment of Charity Leslie as city treasurer. Whereas the office of the city treasurer will have a vacancy on August 5th, 2026. And whereas section 115.125 of the Louisiana ordinances provides that a qualified person shall be appointed city treasurer upon recommendation by the mayor and approved by a majority of the elected members of the city council. And whereas the mayor has recommended Charity Leslie for the position of city treasurer, and whereas the city council desires to approve the mayor's recommendation. Now therefore be it resolved by the city council of the city of Louisiana, Pike County, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the city council hereby approves the mayor's recommendation and appoints Charity Leslie as city treasurer for the city of Louisiana, Missouri. Section 2, Charity Leslie shall assume the office of city treasurer upon taking the required oath of office and satisfying any and all bond qualifications required by an applicable law. Section 3, the city treasurer shall receive compensation in the amount of $36,400 annually, subject to applicable payroll deductions and city employment policies. Section 4, the resolution shall become effective upon its approval by the city council and execution by the mayor. The chair will entertain a motion to approve resolution 1926.
We have this, I have a question here. On the last whereas, the city council desires, shouldn't that be is required? Doesn't the desire imply, the term desire imply that we're in favor?
So the resolution is written in the, with the assumption of passage. So that the wording can be correct should it be passed and can be put into effect. You guys aren't required to approve any appointment that the mayor gives. And so I felt desire was a more appropriate word.
Correct.
Okay. Point of inquiry.
The chair will entertain a motion to approve resolution 19-2026, approving the appointment of Charity Leslie as city treasurer.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
A first and second will be good. We have a first and second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. City clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frizzell,
Yes.
Councilman Griffin,
Yes.
Councilman Holzhauser,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips,
Yes.
Councilman Polston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sitten.
Now I need to read it for the second time, but do we have to vote?
No.
I don't need to read it.
No, it's just a resolution.
So just say the motion is carried.
Correct.
Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a first and second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carried. We are adjourned.
Thank
you, everybody.
What day is this? No.
It's almost Tuesday.
Yes.
Can you send